Okay, I wanted to go over a quick introductory video. This won't go into extreme detail, but it's going to hit on all the major areas for use with the uh, implementation of proactive inventory management software for SanJac Marine. The way to start is to log in as admin into the system, um, because from there you can set up any new users or roles. It's capital A admin, and then the password is lowercase admin, ADMIN. So log into the system. You can go in here. If you have to, you can create new users. Hang on, I go into the roles. You can add a role, and roles allow you to set up, um, what type of permissions. Usually, you're just going to be adding a general role, and you can give it a name like, shipment manager, something like that. But anyway, so that kind of gives you a feel for like how to kind of go through and create a role. But if you create users, you'll also need to just be able to kind of assign them to a role. It could be a restricted role, where they can only do certain things. But setting up users will probably be the first step, and initially you could probably make use of some of these existing users just to kick off the system. But once you have users and roles set up, um, sort of the root of the system is the items list, and there's of course a huge history here of all the old items that were already set up. You can add a new item, and you decide, do you want that item to be, give it a name, a description. You can add new manufacturers that are kind of the makers of the unit, or it could be, your, vendor that provides that product to you, and you give it like a home site, which is, the main site where it's going to reside in inventory, and a location within that site, and a shelf if you want to even get that much detail. You can put cost, sell price, min maxes, categories, things like that. So it's very detailed on setting up an item. Um, so the items can then be, once you have items set up, you can receive items in. And there's going to be, a couple different ways, because we have a receive function under the mobile application as well. Um, and then, sorry about that. And then we have so you can receive serialized type, consumable type items into the system. You can, receive against a purchase order number. You can put in some, all these different parameters. You can set the location of where you want to receive it to down here. And then if you want to actually issue inventory back out, you use the issue inventory. Basically, it's like we call it a disbursement, where you're kind of actually, giving out the inventory and actually consuming items that are things that aren't going to come back. They get consumed against the job. And I believe there was some requests from when we were creating this to have the job numbers be tied to everything, so that when you take consumables out of stock, you have a job number to refer to. So, and I won't go into actually creating one of these at this point, but purchase orders can be created in the system as well. And then, so there's lots of detail here. The other aspect to the sort of inventory management is checking in and checking out of larger tool type items. So you can actually select an item and check it out of stock, and you can decide which employee is going to be checking it out and where they're going to be bringing it. So basically what this really does is shows everything that was checked out and by who and when. And then when things are checked out later on, when you go to check something back in, there's only the items that have been checked out already can be checked back in. So this is sort of an asset management piece where you can just check, things that aren't going to be consumed, check them in and out of the system. Printing barcodes has been upgraded now. When you select this button, it's going to download an XML file, and you have to have our tray application running down in the tray on the local machine, which will print that label. We can get into more details on that. So, and there's other aspects to this. There's the whole reporting section. So I'm just kind of giving you an overview here at this point on different things to get involved with. Now, with the mobile application is where you can set up a link on the mobile device, and this is just showing you kind of how it's going to look on the mobile device, and it's the same page that you would go to when you're running it on the mobile device. So we got a few features here. You can count inventory, basically to just update how many are in stock. You just basically like scan the item barcode to kind of update and make more accurate the quantity of them that are in stock. You can issue inventory, basically taking inventory out again against a job, just like the large screen does. We have a moving ability to scan an item and just move its location. Probably you're going to be just issuing inventory, receiving inventory with this. Shipping an item can also be done from here, but basically this is sized, and I've already created a shortcut right on the desktop of your mobile device to take you to this screen. So, just again, just an overview here of the different functions. Again, users and roles. Maybe start off by working with an existing user. Give that user certain rights to do certain things. There's already some basic roles already set up, so you may be able to just go with the existing roles. You're going to have to create some items probably, and some of this data we might have to work with you on, maybe cleaning up some of this if we want to. I would recommend maybe cleaning out some of the items, but if you think you're going to be using a lot of these items, we could possibly like resort this. I think you can sort in different ways here by clicking that title to have things come up, and then you can just, the searching works excellent. I've looked it over, so if you're looking for a particular item, you can search by a column and then put in the data that you want to search by. There's just a lot of items in the system though, so we might want to talk about whether that should be kind of purged of some of that. But anyway, hope this kind of gives you a good overview of basically, checking asset type items in and out, and receiving and issuing inventory to handle like more of the consumable type items that get consumed on jobs. Hope that helps with an overview. Thanks.